Hi everybody, welcome to Accounting 163. My name is John Lord. I will be your instructor for your auditing course. The purpose of this video is to give you a little bit of an introduction to the course, a little bit about my background, and sort of a thumbnail of our week-to-week process for this online course. This is my second semester teaching here at College of San Mateo. I taught this same course last semester, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you here going into the new year. In addition to teaching College of San Mateo, I teach at San Francisco State. There I teach governmental accounting and also introduction to financial. And I teach those same two courses at San Jose State as well. I've been teaching at San Francisco State for about 3 years. Prior to teaching at San Francisco State, I also taught at Golden Gate University, taught governmental accounting and auditing there. This hovering around governmental accounting and auditing with many of the courses that I teach, I was an auditor with the federal government, an agency called the Government Accountability Office. GAO is the auditing investigative arm of Congress. Anything that Congress wants us to look at, my office does that sort of audit work. Spent about little more than half of the 26 years that I worked there doing financial statement audit, the subject of this course, and then went into program audit as well after the back end of my career, and spent about 15 years or so doing that work. When I left the GAO, I was working on the Troubled Asset Relief Program audits. GAO had a 60-day mandate on that work. Did that towards the end of my career. Got the opportunity to teach full-time and started teaching at San Francisco State, then San Jose State. During the time that I was working at GAO, I taught at Golden Gate University, as I mentioned, and I've also taught the CPA exam for over 20 years, probably going more on 21, 22 years now, for Becker Professional Education. Some of you may have heard of Becker. Becker is the largest CPA review course in the world. And I've been teaching classes not only here in the Bay Area, but really in many cities around the U.S. And I've also taught classes overseas for Becker, getting folks ready for the CPA exam. I will post some information up about the CPA exam and how to get the license, etc., just as a side note. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out. I've advised probably in the neighborhood of hundreds of students over the years about how to get the CPA license here in the state of California, questions about the new exam, 2017 exam, etc. If you have any questions like that, please feel free to either email or call, and I'll be happy to help you with any of that. But that's a little bit about my background. I guess I'm kind of unique in that a lot of teaching and a lot of practical experience at the same time. And so hopefully all of that will translate into an enjoyable experience for you in this class. As I mentioned, this class focuses mostly on financial statement auditing. We'll say a few things about program auditing, but we're really going to be focusing on the core of financial statement auditing. I know that some of you take this course to maybe help you a little bit to prep for the CPA exam, and I think that it will be helpful in that regard, having taught the auditing portion of the exam, as I've mentioned, for some time. When I see material that I know is particularly relevant to the exam, I make sure that we get a good coverage of that. That's not to say that that's the limits of what we'll talk about, but that certainly is a high priority as I look at some of the content. Okay, speaking of content, I just want to show you the textbook. Okay, this is the textbook that we use for this course. It is a McGraw-Hill book, okay, and it's Auditing and Assurance Services. This is the 10th edition, written by William F. Messier and some colleagues. This is available in the College of San Mateo bookstore, so I would encourage you to either acquire it that way. If you want the hard copy of the book, you could also probably get it on Amazon or directly from McGraw-Hill. Also, what you can do in this course is, since you're in Canvas, and I always forget what side the panel is on the other side because you're seeing this video in Canvas. It's on one side or the other. I think it's on this side, but I'm probably wrong because I always seem to mess it up. But we have that panel of information where you can have the home link, and you have different links, modules, etc. And one of the ones that you'll see there is McGraw-Hill Campus. Okay, I want you to click on that, and that's going to ask you to go ahead and purchase the text through McGraw-Hill and get the access code to McGraw-Hill Connect. This course will use McGraw-Hill Connect, and the best way for you to access it is through Canvas. So you log into Canvas, as you already have. You click on that McGraw-Hill Connect link that you'll see in the course here. That will then, I've linked this course to that, to this particular class. I've linked that book, I should say, to this particular class. And so it will guide you from there to purchase the materials from McGraw-Hill. You do need to purchase the book from McGraw-Hill, or at least the McGraw-Hill Connect. You don't need the book because it does come with an e-book when you purchase Connect, but a lot of you want a hard copy book, so you can order that as well, or I mentioned you could get it at the bookstore. But you have to get McGraw-Hill Connect, okay, to be able to properly use this course, because your homework is going to be in McGraw-Hill Connect, and your exams are going to be in McGraw-Hill Connect. Now, the way it works each week, if you go into McGraw-Hill Connect, get into the homework, and get into the quizzes, you get 1 point for each homework assignment and 1 point for each quiz. And you say, well, thanks a lot, 1 point. Well, what's happening here is I'm giving you credit for attempting the homework, attempting the quizzes. Now, if you become good at those quizzes, that's going to translate into you doing well on the exams. Okay, your exams are going to sit there and be very, very similar to those quizzes. So you'll get 1 point for the quiz, 1 point for the homework each week. You just have to attempt those, and then you will have your 2 midterms in your final exam. Each one of those is worth 100 points. So most of your points in this course come from the quiz, not the quizzes, but the midterms, the 2 midterms and the final. Okay, so it's important that you do well on those. And again, if you do well on the quizzes, and many of the homework assignments are just like the quizzes, if you do well on those, then you can go ahead and you can take the test, and you can see the test dates are specified here in Canvas. If you click on the syllabus, you'll see that there's key dates there for all of your exams. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to take the exam there. And when you do that, I would recommend that you have already printed your quizzes. You can print those from Connect, print the quizzes, print the the homework assignments, and you should be able to see all of that information in front of you when you take the quizzes. Okay, and the quizzes are going to be 30 multiple choice questions worth for a total of 100 points. Okay, so that will be the best way to be successful in this class. Now, due dates, I don't make the homework or the quizzes due until the midterm covering those chapters is due. So you'll see that there's a coinciding between the date that you have to submit the quiz and the dates that the homework assignments are due. So that is not to encourage you to wait till the night before to do all of your homework and do all the quizzes. That, I think, would lead to you not being successful in this class. So you should do your best to keep up. But I know that you're busy and you fall behind on some things. And if I keep making the homework assignments due, you might start to fall behind on some of those. So I give you all the way up to the date of the midterm, and that's when you have to submit the homework covering those chapters. Okay, so really everything, the homework covering the chapters, and the midterms and the quizzes covering those chapters are all due on the same day. Again, you should keep up with the homework and the quizzes week to week as best you can, but I give you a little bit of wiggle room there if you fall behind on one or something to be able to submit those along with the midterm when that is also due. And that has to be submitted by the due date or you don't get any points for that. Okay, and you can see all of the due dates sitting there in Connect, the due dates show for the homework assignments in Connect. You can see all the due dates for the homework assignments. I think for the first 5 chapters covers the first midterm, and then you can see the due dates or the dates that we're going to have all the quizzes and the final exam. Okay, so I think your best bet at this point, guys, is to go ahead and when you're in here in Canvas, even though I know it says start here and it'll give you some information about my background and you'll see the grading requirements, etc. But going forward, the best way for you to access the material is by looking at the modules. Okay, you'll look in the module section and you'll see modules for each chapter. And typically what you'll see are the book slides that go along with that module, and you will see the lecture that I will be doing like this for that particular module as well. It is my recommendation, even though it is not a requirement that you look at that material, I think your best bet is to go through the lectures that I'm going to be putting up like this, go through the slides with me, as I'll have the slides up on the screen and I'll be speaking to the slides, have the slides, and the slides come with the textbook. When you get into McGraw-Hill Connect, you'll see that you can download the slides there, and I've also posted the slides on Canvas as well, so you can get them that way as well. You'll see the slides there on Canvas, you'll see the lecture, get the slides. I recommend no more than 3 slides per page when you print those, and I would just follow along with me. I'll be marking up the slides, making commentary, writing notes right on the slides as we go through them together. You'll hear my voice talking through those, and then I recommend that you attempt the homework and the quizzes. If you run into trouble with those, the textbook is always there as an additional resource for you to read through and find more of what the authors said about a particular topic. And of course, I'm here, email and phone number, which you have seen in the welcome section of the course here in Canvas. Okay, so again, process for this class, just to back up and reiterate a little bit. What happens? Come in each week, do the module, look at the lecture, look at the slides, do the homework, do the quizzes. That's each week, week to week. Then you'll see the due dates for the midterms. When you take the midterms, you'll take those in Connect. And I'm recommending that you print the information out from the homework and quizzes. And you will see that those are very similar to the midterms, and you should do pretty well with an open book test to go through and do well on those midterms, and you'll see the due dates there. Okay, and if you do that week to week and keep it within striking range, you get a little behind on a class or two. Not the end of the world, but please don't get 5 and 6 chapters behind and the night before the midterm trying to finish all that up. That is not the way to be successful. Okay. Okay, guys, well, that's pretty much all I have. If as an introduction here, you'll see me in other videos chapter to chapter. And again, if there's anything, please feel free to reach out, call, email, and we'll make sure that we take care of whatever your questions are. Okay? All right, guys, good luck, and I'll enjoy working with you in this course.